spider web camera.
On behalf of Sheriff Carmine Marcino and the men and women of the Lee County Sheriff's Office, I want to welcome everybody for being here today. This is our February 2022 Do the Right Thing ceremony, and we have a lot of very compelling stories to tell today, so stay tuned for that. I'm Tony Shaw. I'm the director of the Do the Right Thing program. Again, welcome to everybody here live watching us in the school district building, as well as watching us on the school district's YouTube channel. So thanks for tuning into that as well. Now, before we get started, we want to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, and today that's going to be led by Juana Tomas. Come on down, Juana.
Not Dr. Gonzalez. It's Gonzalez. It's Gonzalez.
And Juana wants to do it in English and then in Spanish after that. So.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all.
Oh, change your mind. Okay. Come on back up, and we'll have you down here in a few minutes as well. I want to begin today's ceremony by acknowledging the Lee County School Board, Chairperson Debbie Jordan, representing District 4, Vice Chairperson Mary Fisher, District 1, Betsy Vaughn, representing District 6, Melissa Giovanelli, District 2, Chris Patrica, District 3, Gwinnetta Gittens, District 5, and Kathleen Morgan, District 7. Also, Dr. Ken Savage, the Acting Superintendent of Schools. We appreciate all you do for our students in our Do the Right Thing program. Let's have a round of applause for the school board and Dr. Savage. And representing Sheriff Marcino today is the big man over here to my left, Lieutenant Sylvester Smalls. He is with our Youth Services Division, and he's going to be helping passing out the awards today with the trophies and the certificates, and he has a few words on behalf of Sheriff Marcino.
On behalf of Sheriff Marcino, congratulations to all the winners, and thank you for doing the right thing.
He stayed up all night memorizing that speech. Our personnel assisting, you see running around, are our volunteers with the Lee County Sheriff's Office Civilian Support Unit. We could not do these ceremonies without their assistance. They make this all possible. Let's have a round of applause for our Civilian Support Unit. Also, I want to thank the others helping out today, Lieutenant Donnie Fuel, Beth Schell, and Tiffany Wood with the Lee County Sheriff's Office, as well as Heather Turco helping out today, and Dave Alexander and Emily Emmerich with the Lee County School District. Now, they're working the cameras and the sound and the audio, and they're also putting today's show out via YouTube. So again, thanks to all their help with helping out with the ceremonies and the broadcasts. And speaking of the broadcast, if you look at the bottom of your program today, you'll see the YouTube channel address on there, youtube.com/LeeSchoolsTV. Now, those of you with us today live, you can go home and watch today's broadcast anytime you want. Simply subscribe to the school district's YouTube channel, and it is free of charge. And with us today, mentioned earlier, is board member Gwinnetta Gittens, who represents District 5. We're happy she's here today. Let's have a round of applause for board member Gwinnetta Gittens.
Thank you. Good afternoon. How many people got at least one Valentine heart? Raise your hand if you got a chocolate or a heart or anything at all for Valentine's Day. You can't tell me that. I know you did. If you didn't, then see me afterwards and I'll give you one, because everyone deserves love, especially on Valentine's Day, right? Okay. Well, good afternoon. I'm Gwen Gittens, and I represent the Lee County School Board, and specifically I'm from District 5. Any District 5 people in here? I see you out there. Hello. Hi, principals. And I just wanted to take a second to always say, first of all, thank you to the parents. The reason that your students are sitting in our seats today, I talked to my young lady that's sitting in my chair, But the reason they're sitting there is because of you, because they learned how to do the right thing from home. I remember, who was it? I think Dr. Browder or Dr. Graham, one of them used to say, they send us their best. That you send us your best students. You send them to us for us to kind of help the job along. But the job of raising all of these beautiful children starts at home. We do our part. We send them back, and you do your part. So that village thing really does work. And for the students, I would like for you all really quickly to stand up. And I want you to point to your parents first, blow them a kiss, and give them a hand. And now clap for them. You can be seated. Remember that the do the right thing is just what it says. Do, when you see something, do something to make it better. The right thing, the word right is fair and good and honest and lawful. I found it interesting because the Sheriff's Department sponsors this, that one of the definitions of right is lawful. So they are here to honor you for doing the right and lawful thing. And I appreciate all of you for being here, and congratulations to all of our young people.
Thank you, Board Member Gwinnetta Gittens. We also support the, we also appreciate the support we get from our business community. They are the ones that make this possible so we can put on festivities like this, so to speak. They are principal sponsors for Do the Right Thing. Lee County Electric Cooperative, Alliance Financial Group, and Henderson Franklin Starnes and Holt, PA. Again, without their generosity, we simply couldn't honor the students that you see behind me. So let's have a round of applause for all of our sponsors. And speaking of sponsors, if you want to come forward, we have two of them with Henderson Franklin Starnes and Holt, PA, David Roos and Bob Shearman. And they have a few words to share today as well.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us here today, folks. And thanks to all of you for doing the right thing. At Henderson Franklin, we're very happy to sponsor this event and do something for you people, because doing the right thing and the Do the Right Thing program rewards you and provides you the recognition that you deserve, but that you probably didn't expect. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. How many of you did the right thing because you knew it in your heart when you saw it? You saw the chance, right? How many of you did it thinking, ooh, I might get a trophy out of this? Nobody. And that's what I love about the program. It rewards you for doing the right thing because you know in your heart it's the right thing to do, not because you thought you were going to get a reward. And that's a great habit to build throughout your life. And you'll realize if I do the right thing, people will see it. They'll notice it. I won't always get a trophy, but you know, maybe I'll inspire somebody else to do the right thing. And pretty soon, there's a whole room full of people doing the right thing because of your example. So thank you very much. We appreciate what you did. Keep it up.
Thank you, David Roos and Bob Shearman. Again, all you do for our Do the Right Thing program. Now, again, as we mentioned, we're here to honor some outstanding students who are really making a difference at their schools. So without further ado, let's get started. Our first award winner today is Isaiah Ponce. Let's have a round of applause for Isaiah Ponce. Isaiah, are you here? Oh, here he comes. Isaiah attends Mirror Lakes Elementary School. His principal is Amy Boback, and his school resource officer is Corporal Chad Heineman. If you would like, yes, absolutely. And those attending with Isaiah today, you can please come forward as well, and we'll share his story. Isaiah Ponce is a fifth grader at Mirror Lakes Elementary. Teacher Alana Williams writes, "From the first day of school, Isaiah has been an excellent student and an outstanding citizen. He is always polite and respectful to everyone. When he does see a task to be done, he does so without being asked. Isaiah also does not expect anything in return. Academically, Isaiah gives his best each day. Reading skills do not come easy for him, but he continuously strives to improve. Isaiah completes assignments, and he does an excellent job of self-monitoring. He asks for help when he needs it and uses feedback to improve. Isaiah has advanced 2 grade levels in iReading since August and continues to work diligently to keep moving forward. Isaiah, we can tell you're definitely on the right track. Keep up what you're doing. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you." Next up is Patrick Izzigary. Round of applause for Patrick Izzigary. Patrick attends G. Weaver Hips Elementary. His principal is Dr. Deborah Noss, and school resource officer is Deputy Michelle Henson. And those with Patrick can please come forward and we'll share his story. Patrick is a 4th grader at G. Weaver Hips Elementary. His school resource officer, Deputy Michelle Henson, writes, "Patrick is sweet, kind, and helpful. A classmate had medical issues, and recently Patrick stayed by his side while alerting the teacher and staff. Patrick remained calm and stayed to help and until an adult was able to take over. Patrick shows great leadership, compassion, and care. He does so daily for his peers, and we are lucky to have him at G. Weaver Hips Elementary." Patrick, thank you for being so caring and compassionate of others. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Up next is Haley Gill. Let's have a round of applause for Haley Gill. Haley attends Varsity Lakes Middle School. Her principal is Dr. Scott Lemaster, and school resource officer is Deputy Robert Rabbit. And those attending with Haley can please come forward. Haley is a 6th grader at Varsity Lakes Middle. Teacher Carol Costigan writes, "Haley is selfless and always looking out for the well-being of others. Recently, during work on group projects in class, Haley's group had a bit of miscommunication among its members, causing a member to feel left out and her feelings to be hurt. Haley took it upon herself to check on the friend, ensure that she was okay, and give her words of encouragement. In addition, Haley made sure the friend's work was included in the final project and that she received credit for it. Haley is a great listener and tries to consider all ideas and opinions so that she can treat others with fairness and respect. Haley Gill is a perfect example of doing the right thing." Haley, we couldn't agree more. Thanks for always including others. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Up next is Eugene Lee. Let's have a round of applause for Eugene Lee. Eugene attends Varsity Lakes Middle School, where he is in the 8th grade. And those attending with Eugene can please come forward and we'll share his story. Dean of School Discipline Mark Phillips writes, Eugene has been a positive presence on campus the entire school year. Although we have rough days from time to time, Eugene is able to bounce back from those and show up with a smile and a positive attitude, always focused on his goals. In my work as dean, Eugene has been very helpful by being a positive role model to his friends and urging them to do the right thing. Recently, there was an unsafe situation happening between two students, and instead of being part of the crowd and whipping out his cell phone to take pictures, Eugene made sure the adults were informed and able to intervene. I asked a few of his teachers about Eugene. JROTC instructor Mr. Fricky says, Eugene listens to all directions and acts like a model student. Recently, when many of the students did not understand the different drills and commands, Eugene stood up in front of the students and taught them how to conduct the skills. Science teacher Mr. Gilligan says Eugene works very hard in class. He participates and is well behaved. And language arts teacher Mrs. McClanahan says Eugene is not afraid to ask for guidance when he is struggling with an assignment. He is a model for the others. His friendly demeanor and personality make him a welcome guest in my classroom and a joy to be around. Eugene, it sounds like all your teachers are in agreement. Keep being the one in class that everyone looks up to. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Up next is Cassidy Ortex. Let's have a round of applause for Cassidy Ortex. Cassidy attends Pine Woods Elementary School. Her principal is Leslie Gunderson, and school resource officer is Deputy Latima Murray. And those with Cassidy can please come forward. Cassidy is a 5th grader at Pine Woods Elementary. Principal Leslie Gunderson writes, the Pine Woods motto is kindness is our superpower. Cassidy exemplifies this every day. She is kind-hearted, empathetic, compassionate, and responsible. She truly cares about others. One of our 1st grade students was in need of a mentor. Cassidy was recommended by her teacher. Cassidy willingly took on the role, taking away from her own morning time, and she meets with the student 2 to 3 times weekly. She has done this while maintaining great grades. Cassidy has done a great job being a student mentor and even provides assistance to the teacher when the student is absent. Cassidy has definitely made a difference in this little girl's life. To say we appreciate Cassidy is an understatement at best. Cassidy, thank you for really making a difference at your school and in people's lives. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Next up, we are honoring 5 students together. Would the following students please come down? Brooke Brinley, Isla Rose Wheeler, Caitlin Hubbo, Layla Silverman, and Sophia Del Negro. Let's have a round of applause for Brooke, Isla Rose, Caitlin, Layla, and Sophia. The girls all attend Pinewoods Elementary and are in the 4th grade. And those with Brooke, Isla, Rose, Caitlin, Layla, and Sophia, please come forward. That's trying to figure out how to take this picture. Principal Leslie Gunderson writes, lunchtime can be especially difficult for kindergarten students. There is a lot to hold, open, and eat in a small amount of time. Fortunately, kindness is our superpower at Pinewoods, and Brooke, Isla Rose, Caitlin, Layla, and Sophia really go above and beyond. The girls give up their recess time each day to help our kindergartners at lunch. You might not think it's a big deal, but when you're there to see it in person, it really is a big deal for our kindergartners. Brooke, Isla Rose, Caitlin, Layla, and Sophia, thank you for giving up your own time. You are giving these kindergartners a reason to look up to you and maybe pay it back to younger kids when they become 4th graders. Let's have a round of applause. Brooke, Isla Rose, Caitlin, Layla, and Sophia, thank you. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Next up, we have Manila Sanchez Leyva. Let's have a round of applause for Manila. Manila attends Tice Elementary. Her principal is Sharice Trent, and school resource officer is Deputy Jean Druin. And those with Manila can please come forward. Manelli is a 5th grader at Tice Elementary. Teacher Catherine Brown writes, leading by example is the only way Manelli knows how to do it. Every day she puts her all into her work and makes sure the students understand the material. I've observed her from day one, completing her work and following directions. As the year goes by, other students have taken notice as well. When they do not understand a math problem, they will seek her out for help. She does not just give them the answer. By asking them questions, Manelli figures out what part they don't understand and then helps them build an understanding for that part. For this, she stands out as a true leader by example. Manelli is also kind and caring. If a student needs a friend, Manelli is there. It's an honor to have her in my class. Manelli, thank you for being a mentor and a friend. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Next up is John Carlos Cano. Let's have a round of applause for John Carlos Cano. John attends Tice Elementary and is in the 1st grade. And will those with John today please come forward? Teacher Sonia Yornizis writes, John is an amazing young man. He cares for his peers and his teacher. He is kind and thoughtful and is always there to lend a hand to a friend in need. He is an outstanding student and always comes prepared to learn. Without exception, Jean follows directions and also shows signs of leadership among his classmates. He always finds a bright side to any situation, and that is the kind of cheer that needs to be spread around. I feel very lucky to have him as a student. Thanks, John, for always being that bright light when you're around. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Up next is Ryan Macias. Ryan Macias. Let's have a round of applause for Ryan. Ryan Macias attends Tice Elementary and is in pre-K. Those with Ryan, please come forward. Teacher Jessica Miterdroot writes, since the beginning of school, I've noticed small acts of kindness that Ryan has made to his classmates. Ryan is very caring and thoughtful. He especially looks out for the younger students in my class. Ryan will stop what he is doing and go out of his way to help a classmate. There was a time that a student had a heavy backpack, and Ryan went over, grabbed the backpack, and carried it all the way to dismissal for the student. If someone gets hurt on the playground, Ryan is the first one over to see if he can help them feel better. He has such a positive attitude. A couple of weeks ago, Ryan went over to a friend finishing up a test and said to him, "You are doing great." He patted his friend on the back and walked away. This very young man is such a great example of making good choices and helping others, and has never been asked to do any of it. He does it because it's the right thing. Ryan, you are the youngest do the right thing winner I can recall. You started off doing well as a young man. Keep it up. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Up next is Juana Tomas. Let's have a round of applause for Juana Tomas. Great job with the Pledge of Allegiance today as well. Juana attends Tice Elementary, where she's in the 4th grade. And those with Juana? Is anybody else with Juana? All right. Juana's former school resource officer, Deputy Kevin Ragtout, writes, after Juana returned home from school, she was allowed to go to a nearby intersection to purchase ice cream from a vendor. On her way back home, a stranger approached her and asked her questions. Juana immediately recalled her training on stranger danger and in a firm voice told the stranger to stay away. Juana looked for the nearest trustworthy adult, almost immediately making contact with the crossing guard for Tice Elementary. The crossing guard brought Juana to meet the school resource officer, and Juana calmly provided a very detailed description of the stranger. Juana's maturity, confidence, and ability to stay calm in a potentially dangerous situation makes her an outstanding example for the award. Juana is a positive influence not only for Tice Elementary, but our community as a whole. Juana, you are a very brave young girl and truly did the right thing. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Up next is Travis Gladys. Let's have a round of applause for Travis Gladys. Travis attends Bayshore Elementary. His principal is Ben Osman, and school resource officer is Deputy Kelsey Waldrop. And those with Travis can come forward as well, please. Travis is a fourth grader at Bayshore Elementary. Teacher Stephanie Harold writes, Travis exemplifies what it means to do the right thing each and every day. Although schoolwork does not always come easy for him, Travis never complains or expresses frustration. Instead, he meets the challenge head on and with such a positive attitude. If Travis is asked how his day is going, his answer is always great, awesome, or wonderful. He even thanks adults daily that provide him with extra support. With his peers, he is so kind and gentle and offers only words of support and encouragement. He is the most kind child and is truly deserving of this recognition. Travis, way to go. Your positive outlook is a shining example for everyone, and the Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Tessa Waterman is next. Let's have a round of applause for Tessa Waterman. Tessa attends Bayshore Elementary and is in the fourth grade. And those with Tessa can please come forward. Teacher Stephanie Harold writes, Tessa is such a kind, considerate student. She takes it upon herself to help peers that are in need. For instance, when our class welcomed a new student, she made sure to help explain class rules, expectations, and procedures. In addition, Tessa assists one student in particular each day who struggles at times with the rigors of being in fourth grade by helping him cut and glue items and take notes. Tessa truly deserves the Do the Right Thing award for all she does every day to improve the lives of others. Tessa, thank you for being selfless and helping others when they struggle. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Thank you. Thank you. Next up is Selena Muniz. Let's have a round of applause for Selena. Don't be shy, Selena. Selena attends Manatee Elementary School. Her principal is Diane Sherman, and school resource officer is Deputy Chuck Wharf. That's the smile we want. So anybody with Selena can please come forward as well, and we'll share her story. Selena's got a huge fan club. Selena is a third grader at Manatee Elementary. Her school resource officer, Deputy Chuck Worf, writes, Selena has worked very hard and is a high-level reader. Her teacher, Miss Edwards, said, Selena is always very eager to help her classmates who may be struggling with spelling, writing, or math problems. Selena is always the first to volunteer to help distribute materials and clean up. She is very kind and genuinely cares about her classmates. She gets all A's and B's on her tests. Selena is an absolute privilege to have in class. Selena, great job doing so well in class and taking the time to help your classmates. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Tristan Ruiz is next. Let's have a round of applause for Tristan Ruiz. Tristan attends Manatee Elementary and is in the 5th grade. And will those with Tristan come forward to hear his story? School Resource Officer Deputy Chuck Worf writes, on behalf of the staff at Manatee Elementary, I'd like to nominate Tristan Ruiz. I've had the privilege of knowing Tristan since he was in the 2nd grade. Since the first day I met him when he said, hi, cop, which he says every time he sees me, Tristan has always been an absolute joy to be around. I've never seen Tristan when he wasn't smiling. He genuinely enjoys being in school and always has a positive attitude. As in the case with many schools, there have been some staff shortages on occasion at Manatee. One area that really needed help was the parent pickup line during dismissal. One of his teachers, Mrs. Egan, knowing how eager he was to help and how responsible he is, recommended Tristan help out. Tristan jumped right in and has been a huge asset to the parent pickup line. He is a true leader and sets an amazing example for the younger students. Tristan, thank you for helping with the parent pickup. You've done an amazing job, and the Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Up next is Charles Howland. Let's have a round of applause for Charles Howland. Charles attends River Hall Elementary. His principal is Jody Palakis, and school resource officer is Deputy Ed Vandal. And those with Charles today can please come forward. Charles is a 4th grader at River Hall Elementary. His school resource officer, Deputy Ed Vandal, writes, a couple of weeks ago, River Hall Elementary was conducting a scheduled fire drill. During the drill, Charles was shown an unauthorized item brought to school by a classmate. Charles immediately saw something and said something to his teacher. Deputy Vandal is nominating Charles for doing the right thing due to his immediate actions of reporting unusual activity directly to his teacher and ensuring the safety of his school, classmates, and teachers. Charles helped directly with Sheriff Marcino's Safe Students, Safe Schools initiative. Thanks, Charles, for speaking up and doing the right thing. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Next up is Sergio Pablo Garcia Mendoza. Let's have a round of applause for Sergio. Sergio attends Bonita Springs Elementary. His principal is Rob Cooper, and school resource officer is Lieutenant Angelo Vaughn. And those with Sergio can please come forward. Sergio is a fifth grader at Bonita Springs Elementary. School resource officer Lieutenant Angelo Vaughn writes, Sergio is a perfect example of leadership in the classroom and community. Outside of the classroom, Sergio volunteers his time at the Meals of Hope in Bonita Springs by distributing food and various goods to families in need. Principal Cooper brought this to the attention of Lieutenant Vaughn. Lieutenant Vaughn asked Sergio what motivated him to volunteer at the Meals of Hope. Sergio replied, well, I like to help people by bringing the food out to their cars and giving snacks to the kids who are hungry. Sergio has volunteered since November. According to Mrs. Amanda Torrey, Sergio's fifth grade teacher, Sergio is always asking the teachers how they are doing, as well as bringing them food in case they're having a hard day. Mrs. Torrey added that Sergio is a wonderful student and is very humble. Eileen Tasso, the director of Meals of Hope, says she greatly appreciates Sergio's time and efforts at the center. Because of how Sergio conducts himself in and out of the classroom, he should be recognized for the Do the Right Thing award. Sergio, thanks for helping those that need a little assistance. You are a remarkable young man, and the Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. And finally, we have Addison Mangold. Let's have a round of applause for Addison Mangold. Addison attends Bonita Springs Charter School. Her principal is Carissa Carroll, and school resource officer is Deputy Chris Nebel. And those with Addison can please come forward, and we'll share her story. Principal Carissa Carroll writes, Addison Mangold took action recently when her school bus broke down on her way home from school. The bus broke down at a busy intersection at Corkscrew Road and Interstate I-75 interchange. Traffic was now blocked for miles. The driver was not equipped with a cell phone, but had a two-way radio which allowed contact with the bus supervisor, but not the school or bus central headquarters. While the supervisor worked on getting a replacement bus en route, Addison helped the bus driver by using her personal cell phone to call her parent to contact the school so they could alert parents as younger children were very scared on the bus. Once more time passed, Addison used her cell phone to call the Lee County Sheriff's Office for help. LCSO arrived on scene to block vehicles from any accidents and then supported the transfer of students from the disabled bus to the replacement bus on this busy four-lane intersection. After seeing pictures of this road blockage, it was evident that these students would not have been able to make a safe transfer without the Lee County Sheriff's Office, and Addison made that call. We are grateful for Addison for being proactive, and she deserves this award for reinforcement that she did the right thing. Addison, what you did was truly remarkable and saved those on the disabled bus from possibly being injured. Thank you for your quick thinking and for that phone call. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Just a reminder to subscribe to the Lee County School District's YouTube channel. Again, you can watch repeats of today's ceremony and any other ceremonies that you would like to watch. For anyone who would want to participate, we're going to be up in front for a group photo in about 1 minute, so please stick around for that. And finally, I want to thank everyone that's here in attendance and for watching us on the school district's YouTube channel. One more time, let's give a final standing ovation for our students.